Okay, we're live. Hey, everybody, good morning. It's a crazy pants. It's a crazy pants day. Hi, this is Christine Blossom, being of Love Evolve Energy, Aligned Light, and many other things. Let me get you a banner up here so you can see what's going on. Um, yeah, show me. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And so what we're doing here is every day. This is my report on a daily. This is my report on a daily. I don't have to do it every day, but what I'm reporting on, what my accountability is an hour of meditation or more and creative flow. So what I realize is the commitment there is my actual practice of it, not the announcing, although that can be super helpful. Anyway, so that's what is going on. It's a little bit past 10. It's going to be a quickie today. I noticed a whole bunch of things, but let's give you a little break. So if you want to stick around and see what the rest of this is, you got a few seconds to do that because I'm going to play you a little music and then we're going to go into the thing. Catch you in a sec. Hey, and we're back, and we're back. I notice that people often catch me on the book that is face as opposed the tube that is you. So we'll just see what happens, how it goes today. Day 11, never a dull moment, never a dull moment. Is that the way I like it? I don't know. Perhaps we'll see. So, yesterday I sat quite a bit. I think, when did I report? Before my second sit yesterday. And then I did quite a bit of creative flow. It's so interesting how we get in our own way and our refusal to simply be with what is. And perhaps that'll be the topic today. It was up last night and all weekend with creative flow a little bit, doing the dance. And the name of the dance is struggle. And the question therein is why? Interesting choice, struggle. So, and again, this morning, I live in a situation where there's often a lot of blobs of negativity flying around. And until further notice, that's what I sit with. And I can choose what if I'm conscious, I can choose what I'm doing. And with that energy coming at me, if it's early in the morning, harder, that's when it hits me hard. And then it influences my sit. And so that's the way it is. Won't always be this way. That's the thing. It won't always be this way. Here's the thing about that, though. So there's some interesting conundrums, and just to share from my own experience and how I dance with being present with what is. When there's stuff moving, and if it's coming up, it's moving to be moved out. Is it being dumped on me? Maybe. Not intentionally, for sure. It's just the times. It's the times we're in. So, and do I do some not psyche, but mental psychological, which is different from psyche. I believe we all know this. Um, sort of gymnastics about how to be in the situation I am, and it's creating some habits I'm not a fan of. And as things begin to shift, hopefully it will be easy to dismantle them. I'm hoping I'm aware of them. Anyway, so this is me simply yammering a bit until uh, Maybe some people show up, but maybe they will, maybe they won't. I know I'm talking to my beloved crickets. Oh, my crickets. Mm. So painting last night and all weekend and cookie baking and connecting with others. Kind of need a timeout. Still pretty tired from all of it. And here we go into a full moon. This coming Wednesday. There's a name for it. What is it? An icy moon? Perhaps it's an icy moon. I'm not quite sure. God, my makeup looks really slamming today. Digging it. Uh, so when you go for your meditation, when you go to sit down and your experience is, and hopefully at least a portion of your choice is to be there with exactly what arises. And if when you're sitting there and what is arising, what is your truth in that now moment will fluctuate over the course of a minute, let alone 15 minutes. Hi, Lorena. Good to see you, my love. Peace to you. I hope it's going well for you. So I'm sharing now. What do you do with when it's an uncomfortable arising for you? So if there's discomfort in one of your sense gates, your mental sense gate, which often trickles down to your emotional sense gate, perhaps it's challenging energetically, physically. I don't know about all y'all, but that's a percentage, a noticeable percentage of my truth of any meditation for a while now. And so it is. There's a certain amount of stamina it takes to simply sit and be present with that discomfort and then to actually lean into it and begin to tweeze it apart. Like, what are the elements of this? And ultimately, when you start diving into it, if you're able, if it does, if you're, let me get to the other exceptions or other possibilities in a minute. Diving into it and you're tweezing things apart, you begin to see some freedom there because you will begin to see it's not you. These emotions that are reactions, perhaps, to the discomfort arising, the emotions are not you. Tat Sat Nam, you that are experiencing the emotions. So, what is the you? So, the emotions have a little more freedom, even though they're unpleasant. Are they pleasant, unpleasant, neutral? I don't know. If you dive in, perhaps there's some languaging around them that creates that. And again, that's not you. We all know that's not all of you, certainly not the majority of you. It's your mind. This is all, if all the left brain gets really activated, and it's anything but loving kindness here. um, None of that's you. However, perhaps the left brain needs a little kindness and respect and wants you to believe that is who you are. If you sit with it long enough and begin to tweeze it, you'll see it's not you. So this is ideal circumstances. Perhaps your equanimity is strong and your quality of heart is really strong, and you may have gotten triggered. Something will happen, and your resilience, your ability to bounce back and really be with it with kindness and to tweeze it apart and to find some relief in your humaning will be available. Here's another option. And this is a little bit what was there for me today. I'll talk about it in a couple of ways. That the trigger could be pretty strong, and you sit with it for a little bit because you're sitting at least first couple of minutes as you're settling into your formal sitting practice. You're just relaxing with what's there and you're being with the arisings, all of them. Perhaps our trained habit, or you're living with people whose habit is to focus on the negative, and so you entrain with them, and then you are now doing it, or perhaps for a host of reasons, that's how it goes that day. So it arises in your ability to bear calm, peaceful, quantumous witness with it, gets a little shaky. And then there's this suction, and you're sucked into that vortex of unpleasantness. You get on the unpleasant train, choo choo, it starts going along, and you're a passenger, and you're in it. At a certain point, you may notice that and go, "Whoa, what's going on here?" But you may not be able to jump off that train. There's too much momentum there. So if you're Abraham Hicks, what you say is you just hold on a minute, ride it out. It'll crash soon. And then you can get off. Perhaps at a certain point, there's a choice. Do you bear down and bear into it and do you sit with it? Or do you make a choice towards what you really want? For me, what I want is peace. I was painting last night and all I was painting was peace, and it came in as a whale, and I was painting whales of peace. Not whales. What? No, two. One, at least one whale of peace. And so what I did at a certain point, the arisings kept coming. So it's stuff that kept needing to be moved. Somebody else's darkness, we'll call it, or negativity activated my own. It was alive in me. Do I deny it? No, that is part of the truth. And I could see all the negative loops of thought and the attendant emotions that were going with it. And I could see this swirling with me. So my choice was, do I attend with kindness? Do I hold this aspect? And when's enough? When is it enough is enough? For me, my entire hour, and believe me, the last 10, 12 minutes, well, I was eyes open. That was the truth for me. Eyes open. Sometimes, and this is not spiritual bypassing, folks. This is acknowledging, hey, this is a really challenging hour-long meditation that I'm doing here. There's a lot happening. I don't want to abandon myself completely. I don't want to abandon all of this stuff that's uncomfortable to simply be with. I still want to be here. How can I be here? And just take a break. Taking a break from bearing down and moving into the shadow is okay. That is not spiritual bypassing, people. That is self care. That is, and for me, it was as best as I could. Okay, this is intense. I'm going to back off. I'm going to back off and I'm going to focus on the pleasantness of the breath for a while. Because do no harm, people, do no harm. I don't want to slog through. I need a break. As best I could, I stayed with the breath, and that was a little bit of a break. But ooh, these patterns are ingrained and they're thick. And I would get slogged in. I would get drawn in. The yeah, but this, and oh, what about? You ought to, oh, but left brain making a good case for itself, making some really good points. And right brain is and peace here, people, and peace. So a few moments, I had some conversations, and after my halfway point, I work with what's the name of that app? Insight Timer on my own, and I can schedule certain gongs and bells to go off at certain points. And so every 15 minutes, I to give myself an auditory structure for my time. That's what I need for support for myself right now. I'm hoping that's not always gonna be the case, because it always hasn't historically always been the case for me, and right now, it is. So at the halfway bell, gong, it sounded a little bit like this. I don't think you can hear it because of my, mic. Can you hear that? Maybe not. This is very specific to my voice here, the way this mic is, rigged. I had some conversations with my guardian angel and my other angels, and healing self-healing guides and team for this period that I'm going through, and I didn't dive in too much because I had done a little bit before, but I said, "Hey, I need a little help here." And so that was part of the dance the last 30 minutes. Some of me was wanting to, "Oh, I can do this, go in here," and not completely surrendering to the pleasant, to the true, the good, and the beautiful, to the breath. It's one of my habits that I'm looking at. I have layers and layers of habits that I'm working through now. And so that's what shows up in meditation. A little bit of mantra practice towards the end, a little bit of eyes open in mantra. And it's that and I could check in every once in a while with what was mentally, emotionally, energetically flowing or stuck, have a little dialogue, and then go back to breathe, peace, feel, see, eyes open. And that's okay. That's okay. That's what my day was. That's what my morning was, and that's what showed up. Some days it's like this, some days it's like this. There are other times, not true for me today, but will be true at other times for me and for other of you who are coming upon this video here, where I have to kind of jump ship, that no matter what tactic I use in the formal sitting practice, I really need some good feeling here. I really need a break. And so then I will do something peaceful, beneficial, igniting connection, joy, delight, awe, love, kindness, and the list goes on. It may mean ending the sit right then, getting off my cushion, and going for a walk. This is where wise choice is also important. It does not mean diving into a pint of Talenti Roman raspberry a gelato, which is my favorite, with little chocolate chips sprinkled in. I love it. And wallowing a bit in that sensory pleasure doesn't mean that. It means staying the course in self-care in light, a bathtub and with some sparkling water with some lemon in it. Better choice for me. Water's always a better choice for me. Going for a drive, taking a walk, taking out my crayons and working with color. So perhaps for you, you have these things. Putting on some music and dancing. The other day, I'll tell you what I did, because the mental mindset and the attendant emotions were frustration and anger in a big way. And that was its own train barreling through. So, as best I could in my surroundings, I said, "Hey, to those around me, this is what's going on. And I waited a bit and it was still there. I had put on my shoes. I announced, I'm going for a walk. And I marched myself with loud music to the ocean, which was a little rough that day and the wind was going. And I let it run through me. If you were here yesterday or the day before, I talked about this. So that was a moment where sitting practice was not the best choice and could have done with my skills and what was arising more damage. Was I able to sit later on with some of that frenetic energy? Yeah, it was a little bit calmer. The best, kindest, and therefore wisest choice for me at that time was to be with the patterns as they rode through my mental, emotional, physical body so that it did not do further damage. Sometimes, sometimes it's like this, people. Sometimes it's like this. And it's all okay. It's all okay. These things are arising to offer an opportunity for you to release, surrender to the true, the good, the beautiful, surrender to the truth of what is in that moment so that there is flow, movement, and the Tao begins to live in you. That's what happens. All right, everybody, so much appreciation and love for your practices. Perhaps I'll see you tomorrow. I will be doing my due the next couple of days. May take a little break from these daily, every day, making these reports unless I feel moved. We'll see how it goes. So love yourself as best you can. Go gentle, go tender, go with yourself. Love yourself. Oh, blessings to you all. Have a gorgeous day. It's a brisk autumnal day here for me. May you go in love and kindness.